Hey, good morning, everybody. Just thought I'd take the time to drop another video and share some details of my past weekend. I actually traveled up to Oklahoma City and participated in a military show up there. I set up and was there to sell, but also, of course, to buy, as we all do. It's a sickness. I swear it's a sickness, but I love it. I'm not going to deny it. But anyways, so I was set up there, and as is typical on Friday, which is dealer day for setup and just buying and selling among dealers, I went out on the floor and I was looking around, and I came to one table, and this older gentleman, he had his table stacked full of mostly World War II field gear, but some World War I field gear. And I guess he was just trying to blow it out. So I would pick up a piece and say, how much? And he's like, oh, $5. And I'm like, okay. And next thing it was like, oh, how much is this? That's $15. So I just started making a pile of items, and I said, how much for the lot? And of course he named a price, which I quickly agreed upon. Paid him the money, and I really didn't think twice about it, other than I got a good deal. Well, that evening I started to scrutinize some of the things that I purchased back at the hotel, and I noticed that some of the items had initials or laundry marks or names. In one particular item really stood out to me, and I looked at it, and it had the gentleman's initials, and his initials were CJE. And then inside, under the flap of the this is a musette bag, it had his ink stamped laundry number. So I quickly went to the enlistment records and I looked up that laundry number and matched it to the initials, and I pinpointed it to one guy. And he was a pre-war enlistee. His name is Charles J. Everett. Serial number is 341-18254. He was born April 30th, 1918, in North Carolina. I forget the city offhand, but he passed away September 9th, 1986, in North Carolina as well. I do recall that it was the same city or area. But at the time of his enlistment, which was on August 11th, 1941, he enlisted out of Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And the cool thing about this, in identifying it, is I was able to kind of retrace his battle route, if you say. I went to the online database and was able to look up the morning reports. So I plugged in his service number and it populated, and it brought up quite a few hits. And in particular, what stood out to me, because so many of us, we love World War II in general, but when it comes to the European theater, we just all gravitate towards certain battles, engagements, and the one that I would say 99% of us really gravitate towards is Normandy. Well, this guy, PFC Charles Everett, he actually was a replacement in Normandy just outside St. Lo on the 19th of June. And he was actually, he came from the replacement depot, and he joined Headquarters Battery, 227th Field Artillery Battalion, which was one of the artillery battalions of the 29th Division. Well, at the time of his joining the 227th in Normandy, his MOS was 531, which puts him as an anti-tank gun crewman. I couldn't find any further details to, say if he was a, more than a loader or an ammunition bearer or whatever. But I left it at that. But as I dug deeper, I saw something unusually and rarely seen. And that is, he actually transferred out of the field artillery and he went to the infantry. And he was transferred on the 9th of December, 1944, so just prior to the bulge. And he was transferred to H Company, 175th Infantry. Again, 29th Division. And the 175th, they have a long lineage of, combat and just a awesome heritage. I encourage you to read further on the 175th. But anyways, with his transfer, he actually, his job changed. His MOS changed from the 531, which was the anti-tank crew member, to 504. And I'm like, what is 504 and why would he transfer? The MOS 504, that is actually an ammunition bearer. So with that transfer and his MOS change, it makes me wonder if he actually was kind of working in the same capacity with the anti-tank gun, and maybe all along he was an ammunition bearer, which would kind of be part of the crew support maybe, but I don't know. There's probably guys out there that know better than I, but this is just the details I was able to uncover while doing my online search. So just a unique piece with a fantastic history. As I dug further into the online database, I uncovered General Order number 10, which was dated February 24th, 1945, and it was the authorization or the award of the Combat Infantry Badge to Charles Everett. So he was a full-fledged artilleryman / infantryman. So I thought that was pretty cool. But without further ado, let me show you the item. I have it right here. It's typical of, something that you would have seen in combat. It's got some wear to it, some fading, a few little minor holes like right there. And for whatever reason, I don't know why they knotted this particular strap, but it does have the shoulder GP strap with it, but it's faint. But just below the US, you can see where somebody put the initials CJE, and then when you lift the flap, you can see his laundry number E8254, which is the typical ink stamp type laundry number. And just above the laundry number, it's kind of upside down here, but anyways, again, the initials are marked CJE. So it was with those two markings that I was able to identify this. So it's a great piece. It does have wear, like I said. There's another little wear spot in the corner. This is outside my collecting, so this will be for sale. So if this is of interest to you guys, feel free to leave a message here on YouTube, or you can drop me an email. And my email address is ghmilitaria@gmail.com. Reference the video and tell me what you're interested in, and that will jog my memory. Not that I have a lot of videos up right now, but I'm building upon it. But if you're interested, do feel free to reach out. If you have any suggestions or other comments, please leave those here. I appreciate your feedback. because I am trying to improve and grow. So anyways, if you like the content, let me know, and be sure to subscribe, and you will be notified whenever I have future videos that drop. So thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you next time. All right, guys.